joining us. We've just had a little bit of an intense time with some sound issues, but I think we're all set now, so this is beautiful. So I want to introduce Indu Arora, and rather than giving all her amazing credentials, I'd like to introduce her by just saying that every once in a while in our lifetime, we come across somebody whose mere presence reminds us that we are indeed a spiritual being within a human body. And Indu is one of those people to me. And whenever I see her, I am reminded, whoops, I'm not my body, I'm not my mind. There really is a deep, deep purpose for my life here, and I better get to work. So with that, I'd like to introduce Indu Arora to those of you who do not know her. And for those of you that know her, I know you're thrilled to be spending the next half hour with her. Indu is going to be speaking today, sharing her wisdom about yoga and pranayama and mudra. And if you're not familiar with her two incredible books, one of them is called Yoga, and as you can see, it's very earmarked. Where am I here on the screen? There it is. And this is actually, she's just had the first anniversary of this rewrite. This book actually was a little book called The Little Red Book, and she completely revamped it and made it larger. And it's an amazing book. And for anyone who is studying yoga, this is a book that they should have, most especially for teachers. And today is also the 5th anniversary of her book, The Mudra. Where am I here on the screen? There you go. And this book is just phenomenal. It's not quite so earmarked because all the pages inside are the ones that are earmarked. But it really is a gorgeous book. So I wanted to start the conversation on pranayama. And first of all, congratulate you on your 5th anniversary of that book. It's sensational.
Thank you.
And I was reading all the what do you call them, reviews last night in the beginning of the book, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. So to begin the conversation about pranayama, on page 300 of your book of the yoga, you say every single breath gives you an opportunity to change your perspective and experience, to be the creator of your experiences. So breath, we understand its importance from the point of view of oxygen, and we understand it's therefore our very, very best friend. Can you elaborate on that? Why, beyond the oxygen, why is breath so important? And what is it about that, about all of the yogis that continually tell us breath, 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 breath?
First of all, please accept my namaskar, Abby, Abhaya, and also to all the viewers who are watching now and those who will watch later. It is my pleasure to share the little I know, and thank you very much for having me here. So let's start with this. The word for human being in Sanskrit is prani, Prani, prani. So the meaning of prani is that who is made up of prana, which means beings of prana. So we are beings of prana. Now we can understand prana as energy, but we can also understand prana by really understanding the word. And this will connect with your question about why breath, breath, breath. So the word prana is made up of two parts, pra and ana. Pra means primary, innate, first, primordial, foundational. And ana, in this regard, at this moment, connects with anu, A and U. And anu means subatomic particle. Now let's connect these two things. Pra plus ana, which means first subatomic particle, primary energy, primordial energy, microparticle or subatomic particle. This is what we are made up of. That first unit of energy expanded into us. So when we talk about focus on breath, we are essentially talking about focus on being ourselves as pranis. This is what we are made up of. This is what this container is made up of. And on the other hand, breath is the link between mind and the body. It is a bridge between the mind and the body. So we can work through the body on the mind and through the mind on the body, or we can work through the breath on both. The
Mm.
if you the breath, which is the basic essential energy that we need every moment, that which goes on unconsciously, involuntarily, but can also be calibrated voluntarily. Within this layer of breath, the inner content of breath is prana, is that unit of energy that keeps us alive. Not just keeps us alive, but keeps us throbbing, that keeps us, that brings that curiosity towards life itself. That curiosity towards life, the inner content of prana is tejas, that intelligence that constantly reckons us, reminds us, that constantly knocks within us to wake up to ourselves. So, through breath, we can awaken the prana, we can become who we are. Through breath, we can work on the mind. Through breath, we can work on the body. So, it is that single most link that can really open up the door from body to consciousness. I can keep going on.
I think we lost you there for a second when you said the single most link, and then there
Single
was like,
most, yes, the breath is that single most link that can connect you either to the body or through the mind, and that which can awaken us to our own consciousness. That
okay,
is the power of breath. What is one breath for us? One breath that is inhalation and exhalation, that is one day on earth. The soul, the sun, and the moon, the power of one breath is equal to one day. Within each breath, we live a day worth of energy, of life, of awakening.
um, mm. So then when you come to the conference, and we're not finished with pranayama by any means, I know, but when you come to the concept of mudra, then what you're doing is you're in a sense you're locking in that breath.
We are not locking that breath through the by the means of breath, becoming aware of the breath. The moment you become aware of the breath, that awareness is what makes the switch of the breath into prana. The prana is always there, but we are not awakened to it. There is one thing about prana, that is, it needs our attention. Otherwise, everything is filled with prana. Why everything is not bubbling with energy? Everything is not bubbling with energy because we are not paying attention towards it. There is this phrase in text, drishti manaha prana. Drishti means our physical gaze, but also our insight, our awareness. Manaha means our mind, and prana is that versatile, that ongoing energy, that wherever the awareness goes, the mind goes. Wherever the mind goes, the prana follows. So the prana becomes awakened as a result of our focus and our awareness. So when we pay attention to our breath, then the prana shines forth. Then at that point, we have to expand and extend that prana through the application of certain methods. There are there are four qualities that should be in the breath in order for us to call it a pranayamic breath. Are we ready?
Ready.
Okay. These four qualities can be combined. I can give you a visual. Visualize a stream of oil pouring from one container to another. Now, if you visualize this a stream of oil, there are all those four qualities in it. One, smooth, it is unctuous. Second, it is continuous, there is no break, there is cohesiveness. Third, it is quiet, there is no friction. Fourth, it is even pressure. It is not tapering, starting bigger and ending less. This is the quality of our pranayamic breath. When we pay attention to our breath, the prana becomes awakened. Now, when we pay attention to that, continue to pay attention and bring in these four qualities in the breath, that is like a stream of oil: smooth, continuous, quiet, and even pressure. That is when the prana gains elasticity. That is when it becomes pranayama, which means the lengthening, the multiplication. Now, once we attain that lengthening, that extension, that multiplication of prana to make it pranayama, now we have to find a way to hold that prana in this container of mind and body. That is when we apply mudras. Mudras means a circuit, a loop, that which holds the energy continuously in the container of body and mind.
Beautiful.
Hmm?
So the use of your pranayama and mudra, you do them both at the same time, or is the pranayama? Do you start the pranayama and then you move into mudras? How would you suggest for people to begin to practice these two beautiful teachings?
So, first of all, anything that we do, anything that we do, there is inherent mudra in it. Mudra means a gesture, mudra means a position, mudra means non-verbal communication. So we are right now we are communicating using words, but we are also communicating through our eyes. We are also communicating non-verbally through our body, through our spine moving forward or moving back or slouching or lifting up. This is all mudras. So it depends which mudra are we talking about here. That is a really important question. If we are talking about mudras as in hand gestures, then at the during the practice of pranayam, we can do certain mudras, holding the other hand in certain mudras if you are doing the nadi shodhan or anulom vilom. But you can also keep the hands relaxed with the palms facing up or palms facing down. But what is really important is at the end of whatever you feel is the application of a pranayamic method, and you reach that point where the breath gains that elasticity. At this point, it is really crucial to practice a mudra. Now, the question comes, oh my God, there are so many mudras. Which one should I do?
Right.
Now, you can to answer this question, there are two ways I can answer this question. One is what is going on right now, this situation, this challenging situation that is going on right now. So when there are certain situations or conditions, the practice changes accordingly. Now, if it was an ordinary practice and you are just doing it to deepen your meditative states, I would simply suggest do this mudra. Hmm? In this mudra, joining the pad, the thumb pad with the finger pad, not the nail. That is really important. The thumb pad with the finger pad and the three fingers are stretched out. Now, this is a classic mudra. It is called Gyan mudra, which means the wisdom seal. And it becomes very la la la. Okay, why is it wisdom seal? Why, okay, everyone says so, so I'm saying, okay, it's wisdom. But the wisdom is right here. Some of the viewers, listeners might be aware of Sankhya Darshan. You are aware of Sankhya philosophy. Those who are Ayurvedic practitioners, yoga teachers, you might have heard this philosophy, about this philosophy. If not, then this be the moment, and may this moment bring curiosity in you, that you look into it and try to understand it. This, our hand, represents Sankhya Darshan Abbey. The index finger represents the individuated mind, Buddhi. The thumb represents the universal mind, Mahad. Or there is another thought, the index finger represents Prakruti and the thumb represents Purusha. When you combine these together, it is the union that is yoga, the state of yoga. That state of yoga that is nothingness, that is void, that is empty, that is devoid of any qualities, and that state is beyond these three. Beyond these three gunas of sattva, rajas, tamas, beyond these three states of wakefulness, dreaming, and dreamless sleep, beyond these three constraints of time, past, present, and future. I can keep going on. But this mudra right here represents yoga, that I am beyond the three. But the moment this union becomes separation, isolation, individuation, we become five elements, five koshas, five sensory organs, five motor organs, then there is pluralization. So, this is a mudra which is a classic mudra. It brings to us this philosophical thought, this inquiry, and that realization of who am I. So, this is a classic mudra to be practiced during your concentration methods or during after the pranayama. But currently, I would suggest one of these three mudras. If you are experiencing anxiety, which is normal because we do not know how long this is going to last, there is no doubt it will be over. In fact, as we are talking, it is moving towards that niyati, it's moving towards that moment when it is going to change or shift into something that is more agreeable, pleasant for us. But it is normal that we have this anxiety, this fear underlying at present. So I can suggest a mudra for that. A really simple mudra is this. Join your finger pads with the thumb pads in a really relaxed manner. Really, no tension. This is tension. Relax. Soften and keep your hands in your lap. This mudra is called Hakini mudra. Mudra of concentration, mudra of single pointed focus. When we are anxious, we are scattered. Our energies are leaking, and our whole body becomes this porous, this we become that tool where energy is leaking out through each pore of the body. So when we practice Hakini, our energy is gathered. So if you simply, those of you who are listening right now, just see if you can hold your hands like this and just rest them. And you don't need to do anything. A lot of times, some people ask me this question: should I change my breath? No, don't. Because mudra creates a unique signature on your breath. Allow it to create that signature. Just become a witness of that signature. Don't manipulate your breath. Let the mudra create that signature, and you become a witness. That is how it works. So that is one choice that I'm suggesting. Second is, if you are experiencing some problems related to sleep, difficulty in falling asleep, difficulty in staying asleep, then my suggestion would be this mudra. Are you ready?
Right?
This mudra is called Surina mudra. Surina. Su means pleasant, S-U. Rina means night. So really it means good night. So it's a good night mudra. And its origin is from the infants. Infants sleep in this mudra. Have you ever seen babies sleeping like this? This is actually that mudra. Now, to do it therapeutically, what you do is you keep your thumb. Okay, you start with the little finger. Keep your ring finger over the little finger and the middle finger over the ring finger, and then you keep your thumb and lock it. So
More
it's
time.
step ladder. It's like step ladder. So you keep all the fingers over each other and keep the thumb on the middle finger and keep the index finger on top of it. So
Beautiful.
it becomes like a lock. You don't even have to hold it, it will stay like that. This is called Surina Mudra. You can practice it before going to bed in laying down position. You don't have to sit up. You can practice it in the middle of night if something wakes you up. Then just lay down and do this mudra.
And this is S-U-R.
INA. Surina. So this mudra is the mudra which brings that pleasantness in the mind. It switches our nervous system from sympathetic to parasympathetic and calms us down. If you observe it, it is very interesting. It prolongs your exhalation. The moment our exhalation becomes longer, smoother, calmer, automatically there is that the alpha brainwave modulations become active, and that break that can you can choose that to go into meditative states, or you can choose that it's very interesting that alpha brainwave modulation can take us towards meditation if we sit upright, and
Right?
if you lay down it can awaken tamas, so it can help you fall asleep. It's a very
Gorgeous.
interesting dynamic.
Gorgeous.
Hmm?
And the third one?
And the third one is, if you feel emotional upheavals, if you feel these highs and lows, at that time, simply place your hands on your chest, on the upper lobe, on the middle lobe, or the lower lobe. Just keep it relaxed. No tension. No tension. This is really important. This is nerve ending area. keep it relaxed. And pay your attention to where your hands are. Now, when you pay attention to where your hands are, remember Drishti, Manaha, Prana, wherever your focus with the sense of touch goes, your mind goes. Wherever the mind goes, prana follows. So now, as you keep your hands on your chest, on your heart, this area which is the seat of emotions, as you bring awareness to that, now iron out your breath. Breathe in 3 counts, breathe out 3 counts, or breathe in 4 counts, breathe out 4 counts. This is samavritti, which means equal ratio. Whenever we feel these ups and downs and highs and lows and ebb and flow, at that time our breath changes, our inhalation and exhalation is not coordinated. What do you do when a cloth is all wrinkled? You iron it out. So, what do you do when your emotions and your breath is wrinkled? You simply iron it out, smoothen it. Don't stress that, oh, I want to go 6:6, 7:7. This is not the time for ego building, that I can do this. No, start from 3:3 and see if you can maintain 3:3 effortlessly. And if you can do that, then use that elasticity and make it 4:4. These are the three mudras. This is called Sparsha Mudra, SPARSHA, which means touch.
Start again. SP.
ARSHA.
Yeah.
Now you will find my Indian accent here. Okay, I cannot promise anything there. This is who I am. So sparsha means touch, but you will find it. You will find it in this book,
Yes.
Abby.
Yes.
This book has a complete section called Mudra of Touch. But right now, I'm just saying to the viewers, you don't have to buy the book. I'm sharing it with you. But if you're curious about the subject, by all means, go ahead and buy it and you can be
It's amazing.
benefited by it.
I encourage
But
everyone to buy it.
so you keep your hands here. This is a Sparsha Mudra and you just iron out the breath. 3:3 and do it to your pleasantness. Don't worry about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Please listen to your body. Why let someone else decide? How long should I do it? How many times? Your body is so intelligent. Why not be empowered by listening to this body of intelligence that we are? So either practice this is Sparsh Mudra if you feel too much upheavals in your emotions. If you have difficulty in falling asleep, then practice the Surina Mudra. If you have if you have anxiety, then in that moment you simply practice the Hakini Mudra. These are the three practices I'm suggesting you. And if you're practicing, doing your sadhana these days, finding this time for self inquiry, contemplation, for deepening your sadhana, doing more tapasya, then practice Gyan Mudra and enter into that void. Let that void travel into your heart space. Let your mind enter into your heart space and let the mind be soaked into this ocean of consciousness that you are. These practices are
We're
there
losing
to
you.
support. There's one more thing I will related to pranayam, that a lot of time we think that if I do ujjayi, bhastrika, shitali, shitkari, that I am doing pranayam. This is just methods that lead to pranayam. They by itself are not pranayam. And also, if you are feeling anxiety, difficulty in falling asleep, or any vikruti imbalance, this is not the time to do these pranayams. If your mind is stressed, this is not the time to do these methods. At this time, what I would suggest you is 3 times a day, just for 2 minutes, sit upright and let the breath have that elasticity, these four qualities: smooth, continuous, quiet, even pressure. This is your pranayam.
It's beautiful. Beautiful. I wish the chat box here would allow people to ask a question if they wanted to, but I'm sure that they will, possibly through Facebook. So Indu, You can reach her through her Facebook, which is Indu. Is it under Yog Sadhana?
Yes, I think what I would suggest, Abby, is there is a lot of self care tips that I'm writing these days on my Instagram. There you will find these practices of mantra, mudra, pranayam that I'm posting on an everyday basis. Find me on Instagram, Indu Arora Official. This is also my Facebook ID, Indu Arora Official. You will find me there also.
Official?
But mhm,
Okay. Indu Arora Official.
yes.
Okay. Beautiful. And you're going to be teaching, I believe, online a yoga nidra at the end of May, is it?
At the end of this month, April
At the end of this
30th.
month. Oh, right. And I know I'm signed up for it. I'm really looking forward to it. So do go into Indu's website and follow her on Facebook. And she's really offering so much to all of us and sharing her wisdom. It's just so beautiful. I congratulate you. We're at 10:30, but I congratulate you on your 5th anniversary for Mudra. That's just so beautiful. And you just did a wonderful, uh, I don't know what you want to call it, contest for your 1st anniversary with the yoga book. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
I wasn't able to participate, but I was having a wonderful chuckle with your ingenuity and creativity with that. That was wonderful. So thank you so much for sharing as much as you have. This is really beautiful. I do need to just let everybody know that for all of the talks that we have through the Jivamaya Yoga Wisdom Talks, I really do list that disclaimer that these are suggestions, these are little add-ons that we can add to our life to help us get through our rough times, whether it's a collective rough time or an individual rough time. But if you do have medical issues, please always consult your doctor. That this is not to replace any of that at all. So I just need to say that and be clear about that. So Indu, once again, thank you. I hope you have a really wonderful day. I'm just so honored by your presence on these talks, and thank you for your support. And we'll sign off. You can stay on for just a little bit when I sign off. All
Okay.
right. Thank you all so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Namaste. Be well, be safe, be wise, right?